Great. Hey everybody, it's Risa and Kevin from Hudson Valley Vintage. Welcome, welcome. So one of the paints that we sell is Fusion Mineral Paint. I would say probably our most popular paint line. And tonight what we're going to do is show you how to use Fusion's stain and finishing oil. We've gotten a lot of, here, you want it?
I get one.
Let me see this front of that. Okay, I want to make sure you get to have the whole can. So we have gotten a lot of questions about it recently, and I figured, why not do it tonight? So what we're gonna do is show you how to use it as a stain, as well as a top coat, because you can also use this as a top coat. For me, it's actually my favorite top coat for dark colors. So we have a couple of things planned, which is going to be a lot of fun.
Because people were asking for this.
They have been asking.
Yep.
So I'm going to show you all the shades that it comes in. So first of all, this is Cappuccino, okay? The lighter side is one.
On all of these, it's the same way.
On all of these. The lighter side is one coat, the darker side is two. That's Cappuccino.
Yeah, and those are pine, right? I think pine or birch, something.
Yeah.
So they're light wood. You can see
this is white. This is one coat. That's two coats. This is Driftwood. One coat, two coats. Ebony. One coat, two coats.
So you can see you still get the grain. You can still see the grain pattern coming through in two coats. It's just kind of subdues a little in the dark.
Golden pine, one coat, two coats. And the last one is natural, one coat, two coats. So here's the thing about natural. So I love to use it as a top coat for dark colors. Sometimes when you have a dark color like coal black or ash or midnight blue, which is this, and you use a water-based top coat, it can cloud. And you won't have that if you use the natural stain and finishing oil as a top coat. And we're gonna show you how to do that.
That happens with even some of the larger, bigger commercial water brands.
Oh, it's water-based.
Yeah, all the water, like the acrylic water-based Minwax and stuff like that, they cloud also.
So this is an oil-based product. Okay, and the thing that makes it so different from other stains is that it's the stain and finishing oil in one. So most stains that you put on your furniture, you apply the stain, and then you have to apply a top coat in a separate step. This is all one product.
And a lot of them are heavy in mineral spirits and heptane and different salt, really light salt.
Even when we were in business for a while, I was really shying away from staining. Whenever something was going to be stained, I always had Kevin do it, until Fusion came out with this product. And then I tried it, and that was it. I was hooked.
And I may be wrong, but so it's stain and finishing oil, but I think, and it's been a while since I thought of it, that the oil is a blend of several different oils.
Yeah, I believe it is.
Yep.
Yeah, and it actually...
One includes hemp. Hemp is one, I believe.
So, let's see.
I don't know that it's...
I don't think it says it on here.
No, I don't remember it says it, but I don't remember we asked them.
Okay, so, and it's funny, I've used this product a ton, but I want to pretend as though I've never used it before, just for your sakes, and read what it says. So it says, stain and finishing oil penetrates the wood to condition, stain, and protect against water, stains, and abrasion. Can be used on new or stripped wood surfaces. Can be used over Fusion mineral paint. So what they are saying is that...
they say you can use it on floor, right?
It was made for flooring.
Made for flooring, which is seriously important for everybody to know.
So it says apply evenly with a brush or applicator pad on raw wood, remove excess after 15 to 20 minutes. On Fusion surfaces, remove excess immediately. So that's the difference between the painting and staining. There's other differences too. It says you can recoat after 2 to 4 hours. More coats increases durability, opacity, and sheen. Dry to the touch after approximately 9 hours, so overnight to be safe. Ready for normal use after approximately 3 days. Cure time is 10 days, after which surface can be cleaned with soap and water. And one container, which is very deceivingly small, it is a small container, it's 8 ounces, but it covers 40 to 75 square feet. So this covers as much as...
This big giant dining room table and more.
Yep. So we're gonna start with some raw wood. And I'm gonna start with, where am I gonna start? I'm gonna start with, I had a plan in my head. Here we go, Cappuccino. Cappuccino is very popular. It's one of the more popular stains. So I'm gonna shake it up really good.
Yeah, so here you don't have to worry about shake.
No. You don't ever have to worry about shaking with oil-based. When you use a water-based product...
And with the top coats.
When you use a water-based product, if it's a top coat, you know, you can get bubbles. This is a...
Ooh, I thought you were going to say...
Big, blank screwdriver. So there's the cappuccino. Okay. I've shaken it up really well. And I'm going to also stir it with a little popsicle stick. All right, so I stirred it up. This is the cappuccino. Now, as I said before, you can use a brush, you can use a pad. I like to use, whenever I use an oil-based product, I like to use a really cheap brush. I'll use a chip brush, the kind that come in a bag for like a few bucks, or I like to use an inexpensive foam brush, so that's what I'm gonna use. So I'm just gonna take some of this. So I'm just gonna apply this with my brush. I wanna make sure I get it into the crevices here, because this piece of wood has some detail on it. This is, what is this wood? Is this,
Pine.
No, I know, but is it, what's that stuff? Wainscoting?
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So notice I'm not worried about brush strokes, not worried about any of that stuff, and you're gonna see why in a few minutes. And you could really brush it on any old way. The way you apply it is less important than the way you're gonna wipe it back. Now, it does have a little bit of odor. It is not zero VOCs like Fusion Mineral Paint, but I think as stains go, it's pretty darn good. We are inside, we don't have any windows open or anything. All right, so that's the cappuccino, and I'm gonna let it sit over here. Let's see. Let's do, just trying to be cognizant of how many I have. So let's do a golden pine. You want to shake up the can really well, and then you also want to stir it once you get it open. Okay, and this is the golden pine, which definitely has more of a golden hue compared to the cappuccino. Now, a lot of people wear gloves when they stain. I almost never wear gloves, no matter what I'm doing, but I don't recommend that, you know, that you do that. It's not gonna, it's gonna come off, you know, with soap and water.
You're tough.
I'm tough. I'm a rebel. So this is the golden pine.
So Judy wanted to know, what color do you like best or use the most? That's a great question. We've done a couple of, so the bigger ones, we've done a couple of big tabletops with
Yeah, but that wasn't.
Yeah, but I mean in a darker stain though.
Yeah. I like the gray. The Driftwood, which I'm going to use next. And then I'm going to show you some other things that we can do with this. I have it, probably the one I've used the least is white, and the one I just used, which is the golden pine. Actually, I'll tell you my favorite, natural. I use it all the time. I use it over other stains. I use it over paint. I use it all the time.
So you use it as almost like a clear coat over stain, even though it's got a little. Yep.
So here's another great tip. If you're staining something and you want to add more coats, but you feel like it's exactly the color you want. So if you're staining something and you're like, oh my God, this is perfect, it matches perfectly, but I want more protection, instead of adding more coats of that color,
or putting a solid clear coat on it,
you can use the natural. You can use additional coats of the natural and it will not change. It will not make it darker. So each progressive coat that you add, as you can see on here, is going to make it darker. If you add the natural instead, it won't make it darker. I know that's a boring answer. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. Okay, so this one is Driftwood. I'll put this on. And again, like Kevin said, we're using all pine. Now you would not do this over, I wouldn't use the natural as a top coat over any whites because it can yellow it. So you would never use an oil-based top coat over a white.
Yeah, because the oil
It's the oil.
It's not clear.
Yep. Okay, so now we're going to get into that a little bit. I'm going to still let these sit and get the stain working before we wipe them back. We can wait up to about 15 minutes. Are we there yet? You know what? We're almost there. So I'm gonna skip back a little bit. So I like to use these blue shop cloths. The reason I use shop cloths is they're lint-free, but they're also disposable. So you wouldn't want to use like a rag that you're going to put in your washing machine with an oil-based product. I use them all the time on water-based, but just not oil-based. So I've got my cappuccino stain and I've got my shop cloth. Notice that I fold it up like really neatly. That's not just because I'm a librarian. It's because I don't want it like...
And for anyone who saw the Jeopardy College Championships,
I don't want to be using it like this, just like kind of randomly. You know, you're not going to get a good clean finish like that.
A librarian almost won.
Yes.
He didn't win, he almost won.
All right, so I'm going to take this and I am going to just wipe back the excess, going with the grain. Notice I'm wiping it back nice and smooth. So that's the cappuccino, one coat. I'm not going to do a second coat because it's going to take a couple hours to be dry enough, but could that be easier? Now here's the thing, this has a built-in top coat, so I don't have to do a separate top coat. Okay, super easy. So now I'm going to go to a clean part of this. I don't like to be wasteful even though I'm going to be throwing them away. And I'm going to wipe back the golden pine, and I'm just going to wipe it, going with the grain. That's all there is to it. I mean, what could be easier than this? It's so easy. So, and let me just show you, this is what it looked like before. So I don't know if Kevin can get this in here. So, so this is the cappuccino, that's the golden pine, and that's what the wood looked like before. Can they see that? Mm-hmm. Okay, good. So I'm gonna wait a minute to wipe back the driftwood because I did that a little bit later. And I have this board painted in midnight blue, which is Fusion's darkest blue. It's actually like a blue-black. And I'm gonna use the natural as my top coat. And there it is. So for whoever asks what my favorite is, this is it. I just love the versatility of it. So if you, and the other thing too is if you have a piece of furniture that you have sanded down and it just looks amazing and you don't want to change the color of it, you could use the natural. You could even go with the white. That would be a nice option as well. Although you're gonna have a little bit of like a white, you're gonna have a whitewash look. Okay. Oh, I'm saying, why does this look gray? The inside of the can is gray. Mm-hmm. Okay. Got a little nervous. This has been in the basement for a while, but it is definitely natural.
How long do you wait between coats?
I generally, so if I put a coat on this morning, I would probably do it at the very end of the day. I'm very conservative. You know what, I didn't shake this, but that's okay. I'm very conservative with top coats and stains, especially oil-based, because
You want to be able to touch it, and
yeah,
it's not.
I want to even more be able to. I don't even. It's not even just touching it. I want to just make sure it's 100% dry. Water-based top coats, generally, you know, just a couple of hours, but I like to wait longer. If I was going to do more coats, I mean, these are just sample boards, but if I was going to do more coats on these, I would wait overnight and do it tomorrow, like in the morning. All right, so that's all mixed up. This is the natural. And again, I'm using my foam brush. And we're putting this on midnight blue. And by the way, if you're painting your kitchen, and we always recommend for kitchen cabinets, kitchen tabletops, a couple of other really high traffic areas like a bathroom vanity, things that you're going to really be using constantly, cleaning constantly, you want an extra top coat. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is take a clean shop cloth, and I am going to wipe back the excess. I'm doing it right away because this is over the paint.
Yeah, so over bare wood, you can wait 15 minutes or so. On paint, you want to wipe it back right away.
Exactly. So I'm just wiping back the excess. Again, I'm going with the grain. All right, so this is the midnight blue with the natural top coat. I'm gonna go back to my driftwood and I'm gonna wipe this back. Driftwood is really popular. The cappuccino is also very popular.
Yeah, driftwood, you get that great beach look.
That's the driftwood. Okay. All right. Let's do, let me see, what have I not done? Let's do a white, and then we're gonna do actually, since I have the driftwood open, I'm gonna do driftwood over white. So we're gonna try to get more of like a beachy look and see how that looks. So this is the driftwood, and this is painted, I think, in casement. If Sheila's watching, she painted it so she could tell us exactly what color. But it is definitely a white.
This is where you really get to see the advantage of detail.
Yeah.
So in the center and on the edges where you've got the deeper spots, you don't wipe it all back, so you get this really nice.
Isn't that nice? Now with this, if I was doing this, like, let's say for like a beach house or something, I probably would do a second coat. So I would let this dry completely, and then I would do another coat because I'd want a little bit more of the driftwood. But I really like this look a lot. That's the driftwood over white paint. All right, I'm gonna try some white. I don't use the white a lot, but I'm gonna use it anyway.
Sounds like
That's
you're still,
Mia.
Sounds like you're still shaking it.
No, that's Mia drinking her water. Now the white can be a little bit deceiving because it sometimes looks pink. Unless you think this one went bad. This one, I've had this one probably 4 or 5 years.
No, I don't see why it would. No.
Okay.
No. If it's not dried up, then
No, it's not.
That's fine.
If you're going to be staining a piece of furniture, you do need to get down to the raw wood, so you do need to sand it down. If you're going to be staining it over paint, like I did with the driftwood over the white, obviously you're doing it over paint. And can I just show you how gorgeous this driftwood is looking now that it's drying? Isn't that gorgeous? Love it. Love it. Okay, so we're gonna try white over raw wood. And this is something I haven't done. I'm actually gonna do a couple things tonight that I haven't done. And it does look a little pink, but it's not. Actually, the second I get it on the wood, you can see that it's white. Okay, so I've done the golden pine, I've done driftwood on wood and over white. I've done the natural. I've done the white, and I've done cappuccino. I think the only one I have not done is ebony, so I'll do that real quick. And ebony is the blackest. All right, so this is ebony, and that is black. That's going to be darker than the cappuccino. So ebony is the
So
darkest.
Diane wants to know, do you recommend using a foam brush no matter what you're using it on?
Yes. Foam brush or a chip brush.
Yeah.
Use a brush that you can... See, the thing is, you can't...
Because you're wiping it back, so you're not worried about brush marks.
No.
You know, so whether
Yeah. You want to use a brush that you don't
throw
care
away.
about. You don't want to use your... This is important. Thank you, Diane, for bringing brushes up. You do not want to use your good paint brushes. Do not use your synthetic brushes that you use for paint, for stain. That goes for all stains. And then when you clean them, don't put them in the same jar of water. So you never want to have your oil-based brushes mix with your synthetic brushes. So this is the Ebony, and I'm gonna let it sit for a few minutes. Fusion says to let it sit for up to 15 minutes. That's if you're painting, if you're doing top coat over raw wood. If you're doing a top coat over paint, you want to do it right away. All right, so we painted this in a lightish gray. This is Little Lamb, and I'm going to try something that I saw in a tutorial, and I think it's probably not going to work. So Misha, cut this out.
She'll edit it. She'll edit it out when it doesn't work.
Edit it out if it doesn't work. If it works, leave it in. So I saw this tutorial. They were using a brush. I don't have a brush to use, so I'm going to use I'll show you what I'm going to do. All right, so I've painted this in Little Lamb, and I want to get even more of a driftwood look. So I'm going to take a couple of drops of Ebony. This could be like an epic fail, I don't know. So we're just gonna see. I'm just kind of randomly. This is either gonna be a how-to or a how not to. Okay, now I'm gonna take some of that white. And I want to add about the same amount. And this is only a testament of how much we feel comfortable with you guys that we would do this like right. Kevin didn't even know I was going to do this. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. Okay, so we've got the gray underneath and we've got the ebony and the white. So when I saw this done as a demo, they used a very large flat brush. They used a synthetic brush, and I don't have a brush that big. It was several inches big, and I don't want to ruin.
Do you want me to get you a wide foam brush? I can get you a wide foam one if you want.
No.
No, okay.
Thank you, though. We're gonna see. It's either gonna work or it's not.
Yeah.
You know.
So if this works and you really want to do your walls with this, basically you just take the paintbrush, dip it in, and fling it.
No, honey, don't. Don't listen to him. All right, so I'm gonna. No, this is not gonna work.
Don't say that yet. Just wait. Give yourself a chance.
Well, maybe. You know what? I think I needed more white. Maybe it is gonna work. Let's see. I gotta get this out of here a little bit. Actually, I don't mind it. Should I put a little more white on there?
I don't know that I would. I think it will be too stark right now. I think you got to give it a shot. And,
so
yeah.
Yeah, let me wait and see.
So it's like a.
Let me see how this dries, Misha, and I'll let you know whether I want you to edit it in or not, edit it out or not. We'll see. We'll tell you tomorrow. Okay. Just kind of showing you that you can do a lot of playing with this stuff. It's a great product. All right, so now I'm gonna wipe back my white, which I did on the pine. And this is a great whitewash look. Isn't that nice? This is the white.
This looks really good.
Does it?
I mean, you just have to be careful because
you've
got the detail and you drip the white in the detail.
Yeah,
but
you know what? If I did it on the other side, it would be better because the other side is completely flat. Maybe what I'll do tomorrow in the store is try to recreate it. And what are you smelling it for?
I'm just smelling it because I don't smell anything.
Honey. Okay, this is ebony. Again, this is on pine. I actually really love black stain. So I'm really liking this. Super easy. So this is ebony.
Instagram crashed. I don't know why.
All right, whatever.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Don't worry. Okay, so let me just recap the colors.
Yep.
Okay, this is Cappuccino. Now this is all on pine.
These are one coat.
These are all one coat. This is all on pine that looks like this.
Why don't you put the boards in,
I will, I'll show
next to them too?
I just want to make sure my hands are clean.
Okay.
Okay, this is Ebony. This is Cappuccino. All right, that's Cappuccino. Okay, so this is one coat. This is what two coats look like. So if you want to do a second coat, you certainly can. You want to wait a couple of hours. What I would do is take a very, very fine grit sandpaper, like a 220 or higher. The higher the number, the finer the grit. So you want really fine grit sandpaper. I would just give it, like, if this was my surface and this is my sandpaper, I would just go super fast, take a rag, wipe off the dust, then do your next coat. That's what I would do. Okay, this one right here is Golden Pine. Again, that's one coat. This is what one coat looks like. That's what two looks like. Let me get this one out of here.
And the end is also the type of wood you're using too. Birch, birch and pine. They're different shades and all kinds of stuff. So it, again, you're going to get a lighter with
Ebony,
one coat.
that's Ebony. One coat, two coats. Driftwood, which I love. One coat, two coats. White. And again, this is all on natural pine. Here's one coat and there's two coats. Now the other things that I did not do a board on natural because it's natural. So I most often use this as a top coat, either for other stains or dark or medium color paints. So I did use the natural as my top coat over the midnight blue. And it really doesn't deepen it too much. It really doesn't change the color too much at all, but it gives it a nice durable top coat without being cloudy, because water-based top coats on dark colors can be cloudy. On this one, this was a white board. We painted this in white in either casement or picket fence, and I did a coat of driftwood over it. I love the way this looks. I would probably do a second coat when it dries. And then lastly, this was my experiment that I've never done before. And I'm actually kind of liking it, except this little bit of, let me see if I can get this out of here. No.
Probably not now.
It's fine. So I actually like this. This was painted in Little Lamb, which is a light to medium gray, and I just put some drops of ebony and white stain and wiped it back. I think if I would have used a brush, like a bristle brush.
It's like a blend, it's almost like a color blend.
It is kind of like a color blend, and it's kind of neat. So does anybody have any more questions about, I think I have really covered, I wanted to do something really comprehensive because we've been getting a lot of questions about the stain and finishing oil. So I think I really have done that tonight. I think I've done a really comprehensive
So Judy wants to know, does it dry with a shine?
It's going to have a little bit of a sheen, but not much. It's not going to be glossy.
Like if you hold up the one with two coats, you can kind of...
Yeah, can you see that?
Wait a minute, let me... Yeah, there you go. Yep, see, there's
see
really
that,
not much.
You can see that the second coat has more of a sheen than the first coat.
It's a little more than matte.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's sort of a little satiny, but not
Yeah,
much.
one coat's matte, the other one might be kind of eggshellish.
Yeah.
You know.
And like I said before, if you get to the color that you want, the stain color that you want in like one or two coats, but you want to put a little more protection on, then go ahead and put another coat, put the natural over it. and that's not going to change the color, but it will give you more protection as though you've done additional coats. So I think we've covered pretty much all of the spectrum of stain and finishing oil here. And as you can see, you know, you can experiment with it a little bit. It is a really fun product. Don't be fooled by the small can. It goes really far. And
I would say, so if you're doing a dresser, top of a dresser, kind of a relatively big area, you'd probably want to do the whole thing before you wipe it back, right? Rather than wiping a section, because because you don't want to get different thicknesses and shades. You want
what
to
I
do the
will
whole
say
thing.
though is if I was doing a whole dresser and it was a relatively big piece, I might do it in sections. So I might do the top, and then I might do like one side and then the other side.
But a side or a face or a top, you do all at once.
Yes, absolutely. So in other words, I'm not going to do a foot and then do another foot and then do, you know,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the whole thing. Laying it down is really easy, and you don't need to be super cautious about it, because the wiping it back is what matters more than applying it. And like I said, I do really highly recommend using these blue shop cloths. You can get them in any hardware store, including Williams, which is next door to us. Anybody else have any questions? Take care, everybody. Have a great night.